Coronavirus continues to spread in the world, and where the number of people infected has increased from 200,000 to 75,000, the death toll has exceeded 11,000. The outbreak that started in China in December 2019 has little effect on China, but Europe remains the center of it. Italy has now surpassed China in terms of deaths from corona, and on Friday alone, there were 627 deaths confirmed, the highest number of deaths in a single day since the outbreak. Now in Italy more than 47,000 people have been affected by corona, while more than 4,000 have been killed, and that number is likely to increase further. Apart from Italy, Europe, France, Spain and the United Kingdom are the countries affected by corona. So far so many tests have not been carried out in relation to the virus, to find out who the virus is specifically for and how it affects them. Different estimates suggest that young people will be hospitalized slightly less. However, in the US, the CDC says such estimates are not accurate and the youth rate may be higher than these estimates. The CDC's report looked at 2,500 preliminary cases in the country, of which 38% were hospitalized, 38% were between 20 and 54 years old. If the range is reduced from 20 to 44 years, the rate is 20%. However, it is true that older people have higher rates of confirmed coronary infected cases. Globally, 14.8% of all people over the age of 85 are killed by the virus. But that does not mean that young people are not infected and seriously ill. According to the CDC's report, the hospitalization rate for people aged 20 to 39 is slightly lower than the rate for people aged 50 to 69. Young corona not safe from danger, World Health Organization. The World Health Organization warns that young people should not think that they cannot be infected with the coronavirus and should avoid meeting with elderly people. The company's director, Tedros Adhanom, said the decision by the youth to make a decision could be the difference between life and death for someone else. The statement from the World Health Organization director came after news that in many countries of the world, young people are not taking warning messages about the virus seriously, and they believe that corona is only for the elderly and the elderly can affect more. Addressing an online press conference, he said that although the elderly were the most affected, the virus did not deliver the youth. He said he wants to convey to young people that it is not insurmountable. The virus can take them to the hospital for weeks or even kill them. And not only is it possible that you are not sick, but because of your decisions about where you will go, it can be a life and death problem for someone else. Coronavirus, young on one side, people all over the world are putting themselves in quarantine, while on the other hand, young students in the Florida coastal city of Miami are drunk. It seems that young people think they can do nothing. New data in the US has shown that this is not so. As seen in a video reported in the US media, a young man in Miami says, "If I got corona, I got corona. I will not let that stop me from partying myself." Single quote. While many expressed their anger after the video surfaced, some said that the messages may not have been appropriate for the youth. And preliminary data in the US suggests that young people are at serious risk of the virus. The number of new coronavirus outbreaks and deaths is on the rise, and significant steps have been taken in various countries on Friday. Spain, Spanish government warns that army will capture people who are found indiscriminately outside homes. Germany, Bavaria, Germany's second most populous state, has become the first lockdown state in the country. France, French police have announced patrols at Paris railway stations over the weekend to stop tourist arrivals. Indonesia, emergency has been implemented in the capital Jakarta, and bars, cinemas and many other businesses will be closed from Monday. The number of corona victims worldwide has increased by more than 200,000, while more than 11,000 have died. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said that all cafes, pubs and restaurants will be closed to prevent the spread of the coronavirus from Friday night, while takeaway food, tax takeaways, will be available. All nightclubs, theaters, cinemas, gyms and other public places in the UK have been asked to be closed as soon as possible. Boris Johnson has said that the situation will be reviewed every month. On the other hand, the government has said that they will help employees who cannot work because of this situation. The government will pay such people 80% of their salary. The coronavirus has killed 167 people in England. Suspend unnecessary movement between the United States, Canada and Mexico. United States, coronavirus. The United States has suspended all unnecessary movement along its borders with Mexico and Canada. This is one of the steps that is being taken to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Foreign Minister Mike Pompeo has said that the closure will start on Saturday night, but it will not harm the trade. People in some U.S. states, including California and Illinois, are being asked to stay in their homes. New York orders to close unnecessary businesses. Soon, 1 out of every 5 U.S. states will have a stay-at-home order. The virus was diagnosed in the United States in 18500 people with 230 deaths. The head of the World Health Organization has warned young people about the coronavirus. Speaking to reporters in Geneva, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said, "We know that although the elderly are the most affected, the younger ones are not safe." Data from several countries make it clear that a large number of people under the age of 50 have been admitted to hospital. According to him, "Today I have a message for young people: you are not invincible. The virus can send you to the hospital for several weeks, even killing you." Single quote. He said, "Even if you are not sick, your choice of going anywhere can decide one's life and death." France has reported 78 deaths Friday from the coronavirus, and the total number has now reached 450. In view of the death toll caused by the coronavirus and its rapid spread, several Middle Eastern countries, including Saudi Arabia, have banned the closure of borders and banned gatherings, as well as paying prayers in mosques. Saudi Arabia suspends Omar to evacuate mosque in view of threat of coronavirus. Indian-administered Kashmir has implemented Section 144 for the past several days as a safeguard against the coronavirus. The first case of coronavirus came out in Kashmir on March 18 and the number has increased to 4, of which 3 cases are from Jammu area. According to India's news agency PTI, Friday prayers were not even held at many places. Wherever there was a prayer, the number of people was low and the time of prayer was also kept low. The first coronavirus patient in Srinagar is a 67-year-old woman who recently returned from Saudi Arabia. According to PTI, 300 meters around his house has been sealed and authorities are checking people at home. 495 people affected by coronavirus in Pakistan. The number of people infected in the country has risen to 495 after a new coronavirus was revealed in Pakistan on Friday. According to federal and provincial data, there are 249 victims in Sindh, 96 in Punjab, 81 in Baluchistan, 23 in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, 21 in Gilgit-Baltistan and 10 in Corona in Islamabad. In addition, a patient has also been confirmed in Pakistan-administered Kashmir. Trump says companies will create millions of masks. U.S. President Donald Trump has promised that millions of masks will be made and transported to the American people. Addressing President Donald Trump in the White House, he said he would use the Defense Production Act. This is a law related to the Korean War, under which the government can instruct U.S. industries to produce the goods they need. Copacabana and Ipanema states, including Brazil's Rio de Janeiro state, have banned people from entering their beaches. Copacabana and Ipanema states, including the Rio de Janeiro state of Brazil, have banned people from entering their beaches. There are confirmed cases of coronavirus in every country in South America, but deaths have not been reported in some countries yet. Brazil is the country most affected by the coronavirus, where 621 victims and 6 deaths have been reported. The situation in other countries is as follows. Lockdowns have been implemented in Argentina since midnight and people are allowed to leave their homes only for grocery shopping. The Chilean Congress has decided to postpone the referendum for 6 months on whether to rewrite the country's constitution. Voting in this regard was due on April 26, but more than 300 coronavirus patients have been confirmed in the country. Copacabana and Ipanema states, including Brazil's Rio de Janeiro state, have banned people from entering their beaches. States and cities across the country have imposed other sanctions. The Colombian capital is adopting the quarantine process ahead of possible curfew implementation in Bogotá, while various cities are already closed under curfew at night. An airplane sent to Ecuador to take stranded tourists was barred from landing at the airport as if it were a quail because the local mayor did not want the Spanish crew to land. The aircraft was later allowed to land in Quito, the capital. In Italy, the number of coronavirus-affected people is increasing on a daily basis, and on Friday the virus death toll has risen to 627, while the overall death toll in the country has reached 4,032. Italy has the highest number of deaths from the virus. The number of coronavirus-infected patients has reached 47,021 in Italy. Baluchistan government has decided to close all shopping malls and other public places to stop the spread of the coronavirus. According to a notification issued by Baluchistan Home Department, this decision will be implemented immediately. The notification states that people will be allowed to sit in restaurants. Restaurants will only be able to provide food to the public at home, or citizens will be able to get their own from there. Similarly, interprovincial transport will be banned on all public transport for 3 weeks, as well as the movement of local buses within the city.